Hello, everybody. This is Dom from Upstate Supernatural, and I changed the mics around. I'm not using a wireless mic. The audio is kind of not working out too well, so I switched back to the normal mic. If everybody could kind of let me know whether or not this is working out pretty well, if you guys can hear me okay, I'd appreciate that. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in for a brand new episode of Spirit Box Weekly. This will be our last week testing out the Ghosthunterapps GB-Realm. And next week, actually, since we already started it last week, I think we'll continue on with the 12/7/98. We'll do that right after this week with everything going on. And yeah, this week we'll be doing the GB-Realm Ghosthunterapps. You can find that at ghosthunterapps.com. Don't forget to click, like, and subscribe to our channel. You can find upcoming information about our shows through our different videos, or if you follow us on Facebook, you can see what's coming up. Next couple weeks, we are going to be coming back with a brand new show. We're reviving everybody's fan favorite, Loving Whispers. We're going to be coming back with that different route. And if you're following us on Facebook, you would kind of already know that. That's going to be happening pretty soon. But we'll be coming back with that in probably about 2 weeks. It'll be on Thursday night, Thursday 10 to 11. And then we have a brand new series. Still working out the kinks for it. And that'll be on Wednesdays 10 to 11. I'll give you the title for it. Is Decoding the Message. And brand new show we're going to be coming out with. Be Wednesdays 10 to 11, then Loving Whispers 10 to 11 on Thursdays, and Spirit Box Weekly Fridays 10 to 11. And then we have another thing coming up. We're doing a radio show for Diversity Broadcast Network, and that'll be on Friday evenings, midnight to 11 to midnight on Fridays. And that will be broadcasting that on Diversity Broadcast Network. It's going to be a radio show. James and I are going to be coming back full throttle with a lot of shows. And we have some interesting guests coming in to partake with these shows. I'm working on new guests for Interview the Ghost Hunter. And I'm just seeing everybody that's popping in. I see Buford, thanks for being in here. Mary Dallas, Paraghoster, Doppel, and if I'm missing anybody else. But you can always check out our investigation footage. You go to the bottom part of our YouTube channel. You can see our investigations that we've kind of done. We will be adding more stuff into that as we're investigating more as well. And as you can see on the bottom part of the screen with a ticker, don't forget to watch, Interview the Ghost Hunter, Interview the Skeptic, and our Paranormal Stories, which just popped on there. And we have Angelic Comfort that just popped in. Angelic Comfort is the owner, actually, of Diversity Broadcast Network. And we're thrilled to be jumping on and doing a show. Again, that'll be Friday evenings, 11 p.m. to midnight. So I'll be trying to broadcast this show tentatively at 10 o'clock, and then ending probably about 10:55, so we can jump right over there to that. But I have fantastic news. I was able to get the GB-Realm to function this week for us, so we'll be finishing the tests on this. This is the last week for this one. And yeah, I think we're all set. I already have it on, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on. Hello, hello. This is Dom. We've spoken in the past. And again, everybody, if you can let me know that the audio is okay, that it's loud enough for you. Now, any spirits within communication, is there anything you would like to try to communicate? How do you like this device?
Yes.
Hello?
Where are you?
Just for validation, a really difficult word, I think, for anybody to try to say would be actually one of the names of individuals in here. Can you say Buford? Or Buford? I sound better to you this evening? You can hear me a little bit better? Hey, Chris. Thanks for being in here. I haven't seen you in a while. Can't thank you enough during the live spirit frequencies for doing the 3D dimensional images while we did the water ITC. Now, you guys can hear me okay? You can hear through the mic? I'm sounding okay to you guys? Same for you, spirits. Can you hear me okay? Not a problem. I'm glad to see you're here, bud. Appreciate all your insight and all your support with the other show. Angela, thanks for being in here. Any spirits that may be around, you're more than welcome to try to communicate. You're more than welcome to try to tell us your story. Tell us all about what you enjoyed about where you are or your life in general. Kimberly, thanks for being in here. Hello? This is William. Okay. You're scared. With a lot of these, with spirit communication, whether you're using radio or you're using the applications, the best thing to do is actually try to listen to it slowed down afterwards. Always review. But you can catch some interesting results while you're doing it live. And that's why I like doing these shows live. Sometimes you don't get anything. Sometimes you do. And, some devices work better for others. But, maybe by testing these, you may find, this one sounds the best. This one seemed to get the best communication. And maybe it'll work for you, or it won't. Now, is William here? William, are you here? I'm going to show you guys controls again. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, there's a lot of different controls on here. You can change the gain. You can change all different types of little functions. The one we're actually using right now, let me get the mouse so you can see it. It's just the on and off right here for the audio. I'm actually going to turn it off real quick. And then you can actually go right up here. It's not liking me. You can change your scan rate. Okay, let me actually redo that. My apologies. Go ahead and reopen it real quick. Those administrative passwords and so forth. Albert, thanks for being in here. It's good to see you. And let me click off the screen real quick. There you go. And there it is. There's the GB-Realm. And Courtney, thanks for being in here as well. And again, you can turn it on. Sorry, I'm using a few different mice, so bear with me trying to figure this out a little bit. This will actually turn on the center, which is like a video ITC type deal. It's very interesting. There's a lot of attributes with this device. Sometimes you can capture, and get some decent results as you're doing this. And I also believe it has a voice recorder built into this. I don't have it on. It's over on the left-hand side. You can kind of see the GB-Realm and its glory. All the Ghost Hunter apps are all of them look very very unique. It has the handlebars on them, kind of like its own little spirit box. The reason I wasn't using this too much is because it bypasses your audio for your spirit box. Go ahead and turn this back on, hopefully. Come on. There we go. He's not. I can jump between different screens if you guys want to see the device a little bit more. That's fine. Hi. Again, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type those in the chat. I'd be happy to ask any of those questions for you. Actually, I think I can I can add a little bit of delay. Do it right through my mixer, actually. Hello, hello. This is without the delay. This is with the delay. I actually think the delay is helping a little bit. Hello? You always, I always hear ask him or ask them. What would you like to ask us? I do love that. Thank you, Angela. That's a wonderful question. Spirits, do you remember your loved ones? I'm hearing respect and so forth. And any spirits or ghosts or whatever you'd like to call yourself, there are individuals that are watching this live from around the world, and they're trying to communicate. They're trying to learn how to communicate with you, or they'd like to try to convey a message. I have Henry Stillwell. He's curious if there's a message for him. And spirits, please be kind. There, you know, I'm not a very huge fan of the negativity coming through. Right now there isn't, but you know, it's just one of those things. I like to try to put a positive message out there. I'm sure you would too. Father and Son. Hello? If I say something and it's not what you're trying to say, please let me know. Try to yell as loud as you can if possible.
Here's the pain.
Go ahead and turn that down real quick. Just for everybody out there, for any spirit communication, I have been asked this actually in the past, and basically, can anybody try to communicate and try to get communication for an individual? With practice, I believe anybody can try to communicate, but to get a certain individual, I think it has a lot more to do with like spirit guides and being guided within the communication from the spirits around or so forth, or even that spirit being around you. But one thing, for me personally, within the field or so forth, I'm not a huge fan of trying to give false hope. So I mean, if these devices work, that is excellent. If these devices don't work, I'm going to be honest. I'm gonna say, okay, let's stop using this thing. It's not really doing anything. I've done that in the past, and I will continue to go forward with that. But for actual spirit communication, until we can verify undoubtedly who we are talking to with clarification, we still don't know who we're talking to. We know we're talking to somebody or something, but we don't know exactly who we are talking to. I personally, with all the experiences I've gone through within, the journey of the paranormal field, I personally, and this is just my opinion, I personally have no doubts that there is a spirit realm, that there are ghosts, there are spirits. But I'd like to leave that open for you guys to create your own opinion. I'd like for you guys to, be able to see these shows and see everything going on, and it's up to you. You are going to believe what you need to believe, and I don't want to change that. I just want to get raw, real stuff out there. That's what all the shows that I do are about, and I just want to put that out there for everybody. And Henry said, did an EVP say something about what I could put out? So Henry's asking if we can do an EVP session. And again, I have no problem trying these things. But I know from a past experience, somebody asked us to come do a Echovox session for them. And they wanted to talk to the grandfather. And it was the most unsettling situation because you can't give them 100% verification that that's who you're talking to. You can't, not unless you're literally getting like details and details and details about who they were, their address growing up, and all the details a person is going to know that has been here. But I do firmly believe, that we're just on the tip of the iceberg. There's spirit communication very much out there, but then there's other people that are kind of making it sound like they're God at doing it, and it's not the case. Anybody can say they're good at doing something. Words are nothing. It's actions that really kind of put who we are in front of everything else. But I'm going to stop rambling. I'm going to shut up. I'm going to go ahead and do an EVP session. Any spirits that may be around, that may like to try to communicate, I'd like to try to focus tonight with this EVP session. I have a young man. His name is Henry Stillwell. And he is curious if there's any spirits that would like to try to communicate with him, or any advice you could give to him for communication. And I'd like to thank you for all the times you attempt to try to communicate with us. I don't know if enough people say that to you, but I'd like to. And we really should. Another question from Henry. I'm focusing this on him. What can he do to help if he does get spirit communication? I'm going to turn this off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alrighty. I'm going to put the advisory up for everybody. I'm going to play this back. This could be very freaking loud. So if you're wearing headphones, you're going to want to turn them down, because this is going to be loud. But let's go ahead and hear this. Let's see what they have to say. If we even captured anything. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Let's try it. Make sure I got the audio up on this. That is that, and then this.
Any spirits that may be around that may like to try to communicate. I'd like to try to focus tonight with this EVP session. I have a young man. His name is Henry Stillwell. And he is curious if there's any spirits that would like to try to communicate with him, or any advice you could give to him for communication. For communication. And I'd like to thank you for all the times you attempt to try to communicate with us. I don't know if enough people say that to you, but I'd like to. And we really should.
I heard one right there. Thank you for saying that to us.
I'd like to. And we really should. Another question from Henry. I'm focusing this on him. What can he do to help if he does get spirit communication?
careful. Right here. Tell him to be careful.
I'm going to turn this off in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay. See, I mean, I don't know what everybody was looking for what was going to come through, but go ahead and turn that down and turn that there and that there. Henry, I mean, that was right through the voice recorder. All of us, when we're doing spirit communication, thank them. They appreciate that. And then the other thing is be careful. That was very specific. Tell him to be careful. So I mean that's something that I a little flabbergasted at. That was pretty clear. We don't usually get very clear EVPs every week or so much, but that was good. Let's go ahead and turn the GB-Realm. It did crash while we were doing that, which is fine. It's Ghosthunterapps. They do crash occasionally, but it's good because the crash, as stupid as it is, it refreshes the system, and with it being refreshed, you're gonna get a fresh take of it every time you go to use it. So I mean, that shouldn't be crashing on this PC. This PC has more than enough RAM and everything else for it, but for the specifications, which you can find the specifications on the website as well, before you go to install this stuff. I remember when they first were coming out, people were installing them on Dell venues and didn't have enough RAM and so forth for it. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is turn this back on. Spirits, are you trying to protect us?
Is the switch?
Henry, that I can't answer. If it was a family member that said that, all I can answer is something did. Something or somebody did. Sounded female. No, just be careful. I would advise that to anyone. With any spirit communication, any investigating, we should all be careful. I mean, you know, especially since we don't know exactly who we're talking to, we should always be careful. I mean, that's just a given. Professor?
See the patient. Listen to them. And we listen. Happy.
Respect. Ask for me. Intimidation. I can hear you're coming in fragments. Can you try to slow down with what you're trying to say? Might be able to hear you better. Any negative or bad spirits, I ask for you to leave. Any spirits with peace and love, you're welcome to try to communicate. Use my energy if you'd like to try to communicate. This right here is this is a microphone. You're welcome to try to talk into this. Let's try something. This is the last week using this, so let's try something. Okay. Any spirits, if you'd like to try to communicate. I got this microphone as loud as I can probably get it. Can you try to talk into this? What I'm going to do, I'm going to slide over. Welcome to sit right next to me and try to communicate. All I got to do is speak right into this. The front side of that right there. My name is Dominic. You're coming through just a little bit. Can you, are you right next to me? If you could answer with a yes or no, I'd appreciate that. I'm going to try to turn this up all the way. As loud as I can do it right there. My name's Dominic. It's nice to try to meet you. Just to let you know, I can't see you. So I don't know if you're to my left or you're to my right. I hear a faint voice in the background. I am home alone. There is nobody here. In the future, in homage to Steve Morgan with Southwest Ghost. If you haven't checked out his channel, he's got some interesting streams. He uses a surveillance system while he's doing the shows, and I do have a surveillance system. I just got to get a capture card. But I do plan on instigating that within the shows, within a couple of the streams. Just to kind of give some truth behind nobody being here. These Friday shows, my roommates they're not here. They work Friday nights, and they usually leave actually about 9:30. So I'm completely alone. The only thing that's here is my cat, and she is under, I don't even think she's in the room. No, she's under my desk. May I ask who's trying to communicate? I apologize. I can't hear what your name is. Can you try to speak as loud as you can, if possible? I'm gonna put my hand out. You guys can see my hand, but you're not gonna see it in a second. But my hand is out. You're welcome to try to hold on to my hand to try to draw energy from me to try to communicate. And if you want, here, what I'll do is, instead of me moving, if I move any further, I'm going to fall off. Why don't I move that? How's that for you? This microphone will not hurt you. I'm here. If you could verify for me, I heard. I'm sorry, Dominic. I feel coldness around this side of me right now. It's actually pretty hot in my room, but. I will not hurt you. I have no intent to try to hurt you. We are all, anybody that is viewing this, and even myself, we're just trying to find the best way to communicate, finding the best way to learn more about who you are and where you are. It's an ongoing process until we finally figure it out. Oddly enough, I just had feedback in my headphones for no apparent reason. Huh. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this down. And again, I'll be going over this footage to hear what's coming through and so forth. I apologize, I'm sliding back over. But I'd like to thank whoever was able to try to communicate. I did feel that somebody was. And I'd also like to to thank everybody for tuning in and for checking out Spirit Box Weekly. We do this Fridays 10 to 11ish, and then we are going to be coming out with some new shows. We're going to have a new show on Thursdays. Loving Whispers is coming back Thursdays 10 to 11, and then we're going to be coming back with a new show. This is honestly one of my favorite shows that I kind of popped in my head. It's been kind of lingering for quite a while, but I think it's going to be absolutely just a good thing for the field. It may not be the most interesting show, but it might be. But I think it'll be good for those interested in the field and those interested in pursuing investigating within the paranormal. And then the other show, our radio show with James G, will be Friday nights, 11 to midnight. And move the curtain. I could if I went like that. You know what I mean? It's kind of physically in there. But the other show, it'll be 11 to midnight on Friday nights. It'll be a radio show on Diversity Broadcast Network. And if you guys haven't subscribed to each other, definitely do that. Check out each other's channels. And the nice thing with Diversity Broadcast Network, I'm going to throw this out there for other individuals that may be interested in pursuing, a radio show. Don't forget to contact, Angelic Comfort and or email the network, and maybe they can slide you in for a show or so forth. But it's very flexible. It's not all paranormal. It's a wide variety of stuff. There's excellent bands on there. I'd like to give a huge shout out for the Alpha Fire. It's a local band, but they're damn good. And they actually did a music promo for us for our Supernatural Expo. And their music is broadcasted on Diversity Broadcast Network. So don't forget to check that out. Check us out on Facebook. You can keep up to date with us, what we're doing, and some of the events going around West Coast, East Coast, and other shows and so forth. Everybody have a beautiful night, and thank you for tuning in. And I will catch you next week. If I can find my mouse.